All right. Hey, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Love Tips and Velvet Lips. I am Marla Renee Stewart. I'm super excited today because I just got shipped some new products that I am so excited to try. But before I get to talking about them, I want to let you all know, make sure you download my erotic activity bucket list if you haven't already. It's a free bucket list. It shows you what are your turn-ons, what are your turn-offs, and what are the things you'd like to try, right? This helps the conversation with your lover or lovers just to find something new, right? A lot of times people are thinking about how to make relationships last. What are the keys, right, for that? Well, this is one of those keys. So make sure you download that. Now, I am super excited. Before I'm getting into my subject of the day, which is all about lube for, how do I say this? Peachy rimming and penetration. And hopefully this doesn't get me kicked off of social media. Before I get to the lube and all the slick decisions you need to make about lube, I want to talk briefly about Nancy. Now, if you haven't heard of Nancy, it has gone viral with the lemon, right? And super excited about the lemon. I haven't tried it yet. I just got these in. So, but what's really cool, like I got this in this nice little beautiful box, right? Let's get playing. And the box has all sorts of amazing, like, it's not like an unboxing or anything. Well, kind of, sort of, but not really. It has all these cards to get started. And I was just super excited, just thinking about the setting, how you can basically enhance your self-pleasure experience. And so I am so excited. I got the upgraded lemon, y'all. So after this went viral, they were like, okay, we got to make some changes, upgraded it. So can't wait to try that. In addition, I got a couple other things that I'm super excited to try. One is the amazing, look at this, y'all. Isn't that cute? The cute little avocado. So Avo is the name of this one. It's another suction or air pulse vibrator. So super, yes, clit sucker. This is my jam. So I definitely cannot wait to play with that. But look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, avocado, avo. So great. And then, of course, I was like, yes, I'm here for the tapper. The tapper is the berry. Comes in this cute little box with how to set the mood and all of those things. And I'm just super cute. The berry, y'all. And it's a nice tapper. So if you like some tappy, this is the way to go. But I will definitely update you as I play with them. I have a nice play date on next Friday. So I will gladly give you some responses in a couple weeks. Once all these are charged, I am going to give you some feedback around what those things are. So again, if you haven't checked out Nancy, excuse me, with the viral lemon, please check them out. I'm super excited to get to know this company a little more. So in more ways than one, right? So anyway, okay, now let's get back to it, shall we? So this is all about slick decisions, right? How we're choosing the right lube, right? We know it is anal August, right? So thinking about rimming, thinking about penetration. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't like my booty burning. Now, pleasure, of course, should be spicy because you want spice, right? But you ain't trying to burn it, okay? Not because, you just don't want to burn the booty, okay? And I'm making booty and synonymous, but they are two different things. But this is the best way that I can describe this with hopefully not violating any, terms and conditions, right? Yes, the lemon is everything. Yes, thank you, the intimacy guide. I cannot wait. I heard it's the everything. So I am super, super excited about trying it. So I was like, let me show the pretty boxes first before I start undoing everything and plugging it up. So yes. Okay. I'm glad you had that experience. So that makes me really happy. And I don't know if you've tried the Avo or the berry yet, but if you have, please let me know. I'm here for it. Okay. So when it comes to booty pleasure, right? We know lube is not an accessory, right? It is part of the experience. You have to bring in all the lube. So whether you are warming things up with the rimming, exploring with your fingers or toys, or moving into penetration, we know the right lube can make everything feel smoother, more comfortable, and a whole lot more pleasurable. Okay. And yes, there is such a thing as the wrong lube for the job. Okay. Not everything is for everybody. So your favorite lube, your favorite flavored lube might be delicious during rimming, but disappear way too quickly, maybe during penetration. So you have to think about that. That silky silicone lube might be your new best friend for a long booty session, right? But not necessarily if you are using certain silicone toys. So before you grab whatever bottle is, closest to the bed, let's talk about how to choose your slick. Okay. First things first, we know why is it so important why do we need lube, right? For the booty. Well, unlike the vagina, the anus does not naturally lubricate itself in the same way, right? It has a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's from that mucous membrane. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But that means when you're exploring, play, you need to bring your own moisture to the party. And lube helps decrease that friction between the skin, the fingers, the toys, the tongues, the condoms, and whatever else you may be introducing into the experience. And so less friction usually means greater comfort and a lower chance of irritation or small tears, right? It can also help your body relax. So when something feels dry or rough or uncomfortable, your body may instinctively tighten up, right? We tighten up. And if there's one thing we don't want during penetration, it's your booty responding with, absolutely not, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out. That's what you don't want, right? So adding plenty of lube allows you to slow down, explore that sensation, give those sphincters time to adjust. And remember, using more lube is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. Sometimes you need more, then you need a little more. Then somebody says, should we add more lube? And the answer is probably yes. Yes, we should. Okay. So if you're doing flavored lubes, if you really love flavored lubes, I had a client who was just a huge fan of all the different flavored lubes and had 10 bottles of all the kinds. So if oral play is on the menu, right, those flavored lubes can be really fun addition for you, right? We know that rimming already involves exploring the whole with the lips and tongue, right? And flavored lubricant can add another sensory layer to the experience if you need that. Strawberry, maybe mango, vanilla, watermelon, something that tastes suspiciously like a cocktail you shouldn't be drinking at 2 p.m. maybe. Have fun with it. I've seen all sorts of different kind of pina coladas. Blueberry Masinsuva has blueberry muffin, right? Watermelon is a good one too. But anyway, have fun with it. A small amount of flavored lube around the anus can encourage longer licking, kissing, teasing, tongue play without the area becoming too dry, right? We don't want that roughness. So that flavored lube may also help someone who feels a little hesitant about rimming. It helps them to relax about it a little bit, right? Adding a familiar or enjoyable flavor can shift some of their attention toward pleasure and playful exploration. Now, many flavored lubricants are water-based though, so they may dry out faster than those silicone formulas. And that's usually not a huge issue during rimming because your mouth is hopefully contributing additional moisture, right? But if rimming turns into penetration, you might want to reach for something with a little more staying power. Also pay attention to the ingredients, because not all of our bodies are compatible with all of the ingredients that are in those different kinds of lube. So again, just checking out checking it out and see, what's good and what's not. Some bodies are sensitive, right, to sweeteners, glycerin, fragrances, flavoring agents, or any other additives, right? But basically, if you notice any burning, any itching, any irritation or discomfort, please, please, please stop using the product. Pleasure should be spicy because you wanted spice, not because your hole is filing a formal complaint, right? And believe me, I've had plenty of spice when someone had buffalo sauce on their lips, and that killed my sensations. Okay. Please, please, please check in with the person. Make sure you don't have buffalo sauce in your mouth or anything that's maybe too stimulating for your body, right? Especially if you have maybe sensitive skin. Another thing, of course, water-based lube, like those flavored lubes, are the versatile crowd pleaser, right? They're one of the most versatile choices for play, especially if you want to play with toys, right? They're commonly compatible with condoms, most toy materials, including silicone, glass, metal, right? They're relatively easy to wash off your body, off the toys, off the sheets, super easy. And so for people who are newer to this type of exploration, water-based lube can be a fantastic starting place. But the downside of it is that water-based lube can dry out, right? It's going to dry out. So if you're having more of a longer session, you may notice it becoming sticky or disappearing altogether. But again, don't be shy. Add more lube. Some formulas can also be refreshed with a little water or moisture, right? So for penetration, I usually recommend looking at the texture of the lubricant in addition to whether it's water-based, right? A thicker water-based lubricant can provide more cushioning and tends to stay where you put it instead of immediately sliding down, your butt cheeks. So unless that's the aesthetic, of course, right? No judgment here. But you want to check that viscosity, right? You want to get that lube between your fingers and check the viscosity of the lube to see about its staying power. Okay, if you get the longer that trail, the better. Okay. No, if you're thinking about silicone lube, and that is the marathon runner, right? If water-based lube is like the versatile crowd pleaser, silicone is often your long haul whole play superstar, right? It is basically these silicone lubes tend to stay slick much longer because they don't evaporate, they don't absorb as quickly as many of the water-based ones, and they can and that can make them particularly useful for intercourse, larger toys, longer sessions, and water-based adventures like shower play. So if you want to do some shower play, some water play, pool play, whatever, silicone is your best bet to make that happen. Now, one of the biggest benefits, though, you usually don't have to stop and reapply nearly as often. Remember, checking that viscosity is key. But there is one important consideration, because guess what? If you're using the silicone lube, you can't use silicone toys, right? Well, they interact poorly. You can use them, not great, because it can degrade the material over time. And because toy materials and formulations differ, just check the manufacturer's care instructions before combining that silicone lubricant with the silicone toy. And if you aren't sure, reach for the water-based lube. That's it. And silicone lube has another characteristic you should know about. It likes to stay, like I said, on your body, on your sheets, on the towel you confidently placed underneath you thinking you had everything handled, or even on that squirt blanket, right? Cleanup usually takes a little more effort, and some formulas may stain fabrics. So please plan accordingly. Get that blanket. Get it from Fux Pads if you can, FUXPADS. They are great blanket people. So yeah, there's that. Water-based versus silicone, which is better for penetration. Well, depends on what you're penetrating, right? Neither automatically wins. The better question is, what kind of experience are you trying to have, right? So if you're using a silicone toy, you want easy cleanup or expect a shorter session. A thick water-based lube might be perfect, even a hybrid, right? If you're planning longer penetration and want a lube that stays slick without constant reapplication, then that is your silicone, right? Silicone can be wonderful for that. And your preference may even change depending on your partner, the toy, the activity, the position, your mood, right? Experimentation is part of discovering what your booty likes, okay? Again, so important to stay curious. I was just on a podcast yesterday, and it's so important to stay curious about what your likes are and how you can discover new likes, right? And remember, your rimming lube doesn't have to be your penetration lube, okay? I want people to know that you do not need one lube to rule them all. You can have multiple, okay? Maybe you love a flavored water base, right? While somebody is licking you. Then when you want penetration, hey, maybe you want to switch to something thicker. Maybe a thicker water-based formula. Or maybe if you're using your hands, you want to bring out the silicone lube for a longer session, right? Think of your lubricants as different tools in your pleasure toolbox, right? Your sex arsenal is what I like to call it. Different activities sometimes require different tools. And of course, we have to understand lube doesn't replace communication. Hey, Coach Be Great, good to see you. Lube can reduce friction. It cannot fix bad communication. Please get with someone who has good communication, great communication, okay, skills. Keep checking in throughout exploration. Ask questions such as, how does that feel? Do you want more or less pressure? Do you want more lube? Should I keep going? And watch their body. If someone suddenly tenses, starts pulling away, or seems uncomfortable, slow down. Add more lube. Change the stimulation. Go back to external touch, right? Or stop. There is no trophy for getting something inside somebody as quickly as possible, okay? The pleasure is all about sensation, not achievement. Okay, I got a question here. Yes. So the question is, wondering, do you have any applications available? Do I have any applications available? I do, actually. I'm doing an event in October. We're doing a carnival of kinks. So if you are looking to be a volunteer, you're in the surrounding Atlanta area. I am looking for experts for tastings, kink tastings, volunteers to help run games, and pets, if you're a pet, part of the petting zoo, or if you want to be a vendor. So yes, I do have an application available. Just DM me and I'm happy to shoot you that info. Good question. Thank you. And I totally meant to talk about that. I'll talk about it after I finish this. Tastings. Yes, kink tastings. They are samples of kink activities that you can try. Okay. So remember, your booty deserves options, right? So the best lube is one that works well with your body, your activities, your toys, your pleasure preferences. So maybe your collection includes flavored lube for rimming, thick water-based lube for toy play, and silicone lubricant for longer penetration. And maybe you discover that one product that does nearly everything you want, right? You're like, this is the GOAT. Either way, experiment, try different textures, notice what stays slippery. Like I said, I'm a big fan of a hybrid jelly. I love Wicked's jelly hybrid, top notch, right? Notice what gets sticky. Uber Lube is a huge silicone lube that is so versatile. So just figure out what you like. Pay attention to how your skin responds. Notice how the experience feels, not just during that penetration, but during the entire buildup. Now, because, booty pleasure shouldn't simply be about making penetration possible. It should be about making the experience feel comfortable, connected, delicious, and pleasurable. And sometimes that starts with a very generous squeeze of lube. Hey, all right. Yes. All right. Cheers, y'all, to your sexual success. I hope that you got out of this the lube, the reasons why we need the lube, and of course, just to play. I think that's what we should be doing with our bodies, exploring all the different ways we can play. So, yes, thank you so much for joining me today. One note I do want to talk about is, and thank you, Coach Be Great, for letting me for reminding me. But we have the Carnival of Kink is happening October 10th. And of course, me and my team are looking for volunteers, for vendors, for folks who want to lead tastings. It is a fundraiser for the Pleasure and Power Summit that's happening in 2027. So I hope that you all are doing wonderful. Check it out. It's up on Eventbrite. If there are any questions that you have, please feel free to DM me, shoot me, comment, whatever the case may be. I'm happy to see them. Okay. All right, y'all. That is it for today. If there's anything else that you have questions about, again, feel free to let me know. And I will see you all next week. All right. All right, y'all. Bye.